Tone Deaf is the journey of a theater nerd, bringing musicals into the life of their musically challenged spouse.
This show is rated explicit for mature content and strong language.
I'm sorry for me.
Spoilers are in every episode, so if you haven't seen the show we are reviewing, you can always check back in later with us.
We'll be here when you get back.
Welcome to Tone Deaf, a theater nerd's guide for their musically challenged spouse. I'm Kay, a musical theater nerd.
And I'm Warren. I'm musically challenged.
Today's episode is brought to you by Reed's Extra Strength Ginger Beer, and it is not brought to you by the wine advent calendar that I thought I could handle in one night.
Lightweight.
I know.
There's baby bottles.
They're just baby bottles, but
I drink
boy.
an advent calendar twice a day. What are you talking about?
Boy, I cannot... okay, so I made it 3. I made it 3 bottles. 3 mini bottles. And then went, oh. Anyway, so thank you guys for listening, and I hope y'all enjoyed our takedown of Rodgers and Hammerstein's beloved classic Carousel.
Questionable
classic.
Of dubious moral nature and value.
Yeah. Instead, today we're gonna cover a show that, spoilers, we have seen already, because this was a show that we were going to do, back in September. We are going to be covering the Utah original classic, soon-to-be classic.
Instant classic.
SLAC Cabaret. And so this was a show that was replacing the annual Saturday's Voyeur that they used to do.
Which was so much fun.
I love Saturday's Voyeur, but I really had fun with SLAC Cabaret.
I did too. It feels more, because it feels a lot like Saturday's Voyeur.
It does.
If they picked one story and followed it a little bit more, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I liked it, and I want to see more. And yeah, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, this one, like all Saturday's Voyeurs had a plot, but there were always a lot more tangents with it.
A lot more and you could almost like spoof commercials that appealed specifically to the people that live in that state.
Yes.
And it was great. It was fantastic. They had lots of inside jokes that you only get unless you live in Utah and see that culture.
Yeah, and SLAC Cabaret carries that on, but it has some changes. Saturday's Voyeur, to me, was always more white than
absolutely.
SLAC Cabaret ended up being. There was one version of Saturday's Voyeur that I do remember having a lot more diversity, and it also was the least liked one because it was in 2003, and it was basically a rap musical that was dealing with a mental hospital in Utah. Ooh. With people that, like, some had PTSD. It was a very dark Saturday's Voyeur. It was darker than they had ever gone, and they never went back to being that dark.
Yeah, it was tackling, for people who don't know, for some weird reason, because Utah is a family values kind of state, they love to have rehab centers and troubled child places here.
It's fucked up.
Places where people can die, and
there's
no regulation.
Yeah, the mountain wilderness things, those are all here, and usually Mormon run, but that has nothing to do with this SLAC Cabaret, but it is tangentially related to that one Saturday's Voyeur, because I just remember, like, coming out of that one, depressed.
Not feeling like you enjoyed the show necessarily, because you're like, oh, that's right, our state is actively doing some pretty terrible shit for money.
Yeah, and
Human suffering.
It was back in 2003. Like it wasn't about that sort of program, but it was a very dark one. And so it was kind of odd when we found out that Salt Lake Acting Company wasn't going to be doing Saturday's Voyeur anymore. It was kind of like, what are they replacing it with? And I did have a tiny bit of fear with SLAC Cabaret that it wouldn't be as fun. But holy fuck, I loved it. We'll talk about it when we get to our review of the show, but they have non-binary representation. They have a lot of black representation. Pop. And, like, we even have South Asian representation with a missionary character that comes in for this one, which is another thing, because there was always a missionary character in Saturday's Voyeur, but it was usually it was usually two missionaries that were partners that would be kind of the repository for a lot of gay jokes. And now it's different. It's really different, and I really liked SLAC Cabaret. So this show premiered August 11th and ran until September 12th, and this was when they started their SLAC digital streaming because of the COVID pandemic for people in the future. It'll be gone someday, right? Or at least down to where we're not all dying. But they started doing SLAC Digital, and that's how we saw it, because otherwise we never would have been able to see this, because the pandemic was still a thing. The show was written by Martine K. Green Rogers, Aaron Swenson, who was part of a lot of SLAC shows that I remember seeing when I was going to SLAC all the time, and Amy Woke, and the director was Cynthia Fleming, who I believe directed the Saturday's Voyeur all the time, too.
Nice.
Yeah. And we have, in our cast, our main characters are Mac, who is someone who I knew growing up and did theater with. We had Matthew Tripp, Atavan Tarmaraja, Mina Sadoun, Nikki Rahimi, Wendy Joseph, Kelsey Jepson, Michael Hernandez, Pedro Flores, Olivia Custodio, who was the Karen, spelled with a C, Kim Handa Brown. We had my favorite, Jay White, because non-binary rep. So, yeah, that was our cast for this one, and Jay was in Saturday's Voyeur that we saw, too.
The Bird Box one.
Yes, the Bird Box one. And so it's really great seeing, just seeing people that we saw starting out at Saturday's Voyeur transitioning into SLAC Cabaret and sort of blossoming in these new roles. And it was great to watch. I friggin' love it. I friggin' love that show.
It really does seem like because I know we were both worried because we like Saturday's Voyeur all the times that we have been. But it does seem like it's going to be a worthy successor.
Yes.
And I think they could do some cool stuff.
Absolutely.
And who knows what the future will be. So,
yep.
Well, but I am excited to see the next one, especially if they continue with the smart trend that they've been doing, which is allowing their shows to be streamed.
Yes, and there are a couple of other theaters. I'm going to be trying to get us tickets for one that another friend of mine, Carlton Bluford, wrote that's being done at Plan B, and they are streaming that one as well. So it's great watching other Utah theaters doing the same thing, figuring out ways to stream their shows and
still keep doing art.
And still keep doing the art. And some of these shows, it's also good on the part of the publishing companies on shows that are not original shows that they are letting them stream. And I really wish that a certain Broadway class, quote-unquote, theater in Utah would jump on the same bandwagon because they absolutely could afford the rights.
Mm-hmm. And they would make more money.
It would make more money, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It gets so frustrating when you're like, this makes great business sense given the fact that we're going through a pandemic.
Yes.
Maybe do this thing, you chode.
I am not a capitalist. However, I know how they think.
The thing that's unfortunate is their inability to get with the times creates a market for bootlegs. Mm-hmm. So give us an ability to pay for it, but still stay at home, and we will.
Yes, and that's neither here nor there. Sorry, I just am very passionate about that, about accessibility in theater.
I love your passion about accessibility in theater.
Oh, I'm gonna passion all over it.
I want you to passion so hard all over this podcast, right into our listeners' ears. They love that passion, too.
But that's the thing with SLAC Cabaret, too, is it's perfect for the new generation that's here in this state. Because as much as the lawmakers and people in charge are like, no, we're still conservative family values. It's like conservative is in the way that the state portrays it is just another synonym for white supremacist and crap like that.
It's actually regressive. It's not conservative, it is regressive.
Yeah.
We would like to go back in time.
Yeah. And,
please.
And to see SLAC changing with the times makes me happy. Because they've always been on the forefront of things. They always have been. Again, the last Saturday's Voyeur that they did, having the whole song about pronouns, educates people who are allies but aren't necessarily completely accepting of non-binary identities yet. And so it was important that they did that for Saturday's Voyeur. Same as when they did the Iraq War one. That was hard to watch, but it was important. And they were breaking barriers again. And they constantly do that there, which is why it's one of my favorite theaters in the whole state.
I have never not liked a show that I've seen there.
Yeah.
Granted, I could count them all on two hands.
Yes, I've been bad about having us go to... Because there was a period of time where we were season ticket holders, my mom and I were, and we were seeing shows there all the time. That's where I saw Bat Boy for the first time, as well as Kimberly Akimbo, Sylvia, or the Goat, or who's Sylvia, which that one's a little bit harder to watch ever since some of the stuff that's been going on in the Therianthrope community.
Just about to ask you, Kay, is there a goat fucker in it?
Yes. But it's one that's horribly funny and has one of the best payoff moments at the end, but also, Jesus Christ, it's hard to think about now.
And of course, just special shout out because we can't talk about goat fucking without me thinking about sheep fucking, without me thinking about Samesies, the gay caveman college humor video.
Oh man, yeah, we can do a whole rant about how Facebook destroyed college humor and Adam Ruins Everything and Cracked and anyway. So I'm excited to relive this because SLAC Cabaret was so just good and also kind of helped us get out of a dark period a little bit.
We watched it twice.
Yeah, we watched it twice, and it helped us laugh when we had been unable to for a while. And laughter is healing, laughter is important, and thank you, SLAC Cabaret, for helping us heal. This is our love letter to you, with a big ol' rant at the beginning.
Yes, and when we did watch it, I did take notes, and they have been sitting here, seasoned and aged, you know? So hopefully they are still
like a fine wine, but not the advent calendar wine.
We will see.
All right, well, let's take a quick intermission, and then we will talk about SLAC Cabaret.
Yay!
Hey, Warren.
Hey, Kay.
Do you know what time it is?
Is it time to talk about our favorite people in the whole wide world?
It is!
Woo! We'd like to thank our stage crew sponsors, Jasmine Wu, Jeff, Tyler McCarty, and Shamick.
And our producer circle sponsors, BeAnArtsHero, Taylor Brandt, Jesse, and Cookie. Thank you all so much for your continued support of our show.
We truly appreciate it.
All right, Warren. We have a special message from one of our producer circle patrons, Cookie.
Cookie!
Yes, he would like us to read the following message on the show.
That will be my pleasure. Cookie is a major league dum-dum for forgetting that he could actually support this amazing show more than just by raising your niece, who will one day be the famous actress who can bring shame to really bad directors and writers. Lastly, you two are straight up scrumptious. V to the O to the R to the E. Let's go! Thank you, Cookie, for supporting our show with this incredibly strange message.
We love you.
Hey y'all, we are the See You Next Tuesday podcast. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Jessie. We discuss the worst of the worst crimes committed by family members.
New year, new topic. We now bring you the dads. Fun.
But don't worry, we don't leave you depressed. We will always leave you on a high note with our trophy dad.
Listen wherever you get your podcast.
And now, the lights are going down and the music's starting back up, so let's head back to the second act of our show. All right, Warren, so we've talked a lot about how we felt about the show without actually going into our review, so what is your review of SLAC Cabaret?
Okay, so, SLAC Cabaret 2021. So, as we're watching, there is no sound. And Kay starts fumbling with the sound, trying to figure out if this is part of the show, or if something is wrong with the volume. When suddenly, a woman welcomes us to Salt Lake City and then proceeds to talk about how there is a big salt lake. There's a big lake full of salt, and near it is an airport undergoing extensive renovations.
So I have to pause us here because I can't believe that I did the same thing that the Roswellian UFO Festival did with 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Okay, I will defend you, though. The difference is that is a movie that has been out, so if you've seen it, you know that there's no
sound for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, no, not sound, no video.
Yeah, no video.
Yeah, there's audio, but no video for about 10 minutes. It's just music. But with this, it's a new thing. We had no idea. Mm-hmm. And so we just see this woman come out on stage and just going up to the mic. We're not hearing any music. We're not hearing any footsteps, no nothing. We're like, oh, God, like, is something wrong? And all of a sudden, boo, welcomes, I like that. We're like, motherfucker.
Oh, man.
Okay, before Kay rudely,
I'm sorry,
or I should say suddenly, interrupted me, the woman welcomes us to Salt Lake City, and they proceed to talk about how there is a big lake full of salt, and near that is an airport undergoing extensive renovations, and near that is a city named Salt Lake, and everyone launches into a song where they talk about how this is their Utah, and make some fun esoteric references that really hit home if you live in the state, like how everyone seems to know each other, or how there is super bizarre weather all year around, and how everyone seems really nice, but they're Mormons, so who really knows? But most importantly, this is their Utah. And one thing I will kind of say about this that Kay touched on a little bit in the beginning, and I really liked about this, is the characters in this are all kind of the best way to put it, I guess, is Utah outcasts is the way.
Yes.
You don't fit in with the inherent
Yeah.
power structure.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is people of the LGBT communities, people of color, just people who are generally not Mormon.
Yes.
And it's and I like that because it's like, this is still our home. And so this, they're talking about their Utah.
Yeah, and it's a really great parody of the song Welcome to the Rock from Come From Away, which you haven't seen yet.
Yep.
And so that was why I was howling.
And
as all the Utah stuff.
And I'm just like, this is pretty good. And Kay is like, I get that reference. I understand that reference. I know this reference. And I'm just like, even if I did, I wouldn't know that I did, most likely.
Yeah, no, you didn't spend a day at work listening to Come From Away and then sobbing while you're listening to it. God, big mistake. Don't do that.
Come from away, come from away, come from away with me.
Oh, no.
It's the right song, right? So that one, I know I'm getting two songs mixed up, but I don't know enough about either to say which one is which. This is the hell that is my brain. And the hell that my wife has to live with every day. So, back to SLAC Cabaret. After they do the This Is Their Utah song, we then see a woman named Mac, who Kay knows and did theater with once upon a time. And Mac does an intro song about welcoming to Utah. Anyways, Mac finds a mysterious phone ringing on the stairs and answers it, hello, and no one is there. Mac then starts to ask people at the airport where the exit is, and the helpful intercom person welcomes people to Salt Lake City Airport, and it's the 85th busiest airport in the world, now with a Shake Shack.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. It's the Shake Shack. That's something that I do remember. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No more shaking. Anyways, after a brief shake, shake, shake number, we see an airport lady reading a magazine while a woman asks her to please help her find her lost phone. But the plea falls on uncaring ears, and the woman is hauled off by her companion before she can fuck some shit up. Anyways, Mac comes back out and is like, hey, is this place super confusing? Can you help me find my baggage claim and get the fuck out of here, maybe? And instead, the helpful airport employee, Karen, with a C in it, because she cares, is like, nope, but I'll give you a tour of this $4 billion airport that everyone loves.
Oh my god.
I have been to this airport since it's remodeled, but only to pick up and drop off people coming to Utah.
Yes.
In that regard, it is incredibly streamlined and excellent. However, recent family who's had the displeasure of using that airport are like, it is fucking confusing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yay for making it easier to drop people off into a confusing labyrinth.
Yeah, I guess
Pick them up when they find their way out.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that it was fine the way it was, honestly. Like, it was fine, whatever, but now you've got to walk a mile to...
Yeah, I didn't fly very often, so I didn't use it enough to have a strong opinion, I guess.
I flew enough that I knew all the tricks. I have a strong opinion, and I know all the tricks to avoid having your ears hurt when the pressure changes.
Oh, yes. Yes. So after Karen grabs Mac, we see a bunch of angry airport goers yelling, fuck you, to one another. Karen then talks about all the Starbucks and the stuff that the new airport has, and how everyone just loves all of these wonderful corporate franchises. Karen finishes her song, and Mac, who turns out is named Nia, is like, dear God, no, just show me the exit, please. And Karen is prevented from torturing Nina further by Hudson, the manager, who then goes to show Nia the exit, because no one can find it ever since the remodel. But they can't lead Nia out without a musical number, because Nia has main character energy.
I love that line.
Hudson is Hudson kind of steals the show a little
Yes.
bit.
Yes, he does.
Not spoilers or anything, but he's kind of like the energetic gay best friend who kind of steals some of the main character's attention.
Well, and he has such a
He has a cool backstory.
Yeah,
he has a very humanizing.
his backstory. Holy shit, it's good. It's good.
And we'll talk about it.
Yes.
And we will. It's coming. It's coming, Kay.
It is.
It's coming. I know you're wet with anticipation, but hold back.
Anticipation.
Patient.
Oh, wow, we were doing two completely different things.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I guess I was doing the condensation, and you were doing the anticipation. It's the anticipation of the condensation that makes you wet with your perspiration.
Oh, my God.
So, anyways, Nia has main character energy, so she's got to have a song. SLC snow and skiing, sports balls, fry sauce, but to the tune of Under the Sea. So, that was I can't sing it because it's me, but it was to the Under the Sea, but it's all about the weird Utah things, I guess. So, a mention of fry sauce.
The only thing that was missing was green Jello with carrot shavings.
Nah, except it's not like the 60s Utah.
That was not 60s. That
Really?
was 90s into the 2000s.
Sorry, I forget that Utah's behind.
Yeah, no, they were. When I first moved here, I got all excited about when someone said, "Oh, we're having Jello," because I'm thinking
sugary jiggle juice.
Yeah, sugary jiggle juice with nothing in it, and instead, not just having something in it, it's fucking carrot shavings. Who the fuck does that? Why? Why?
Marshmallows and pineapple is one thing. Maybe little bits of orange or something, mandarin orange. But
I can understand those, even though it's textural hell for me. But
Agreed.
Utah, are you okay?
No,
Are you okay?
they're very sexually repressed and angry at immigrants.
But how does that translate into Jello?
When you sexually repress people, it
put
comes
carrot shavings into Jello.
It comes out in weird ways.
There were okay. No, I've got to let this off my chest. When I first moved to this state, there were so many things that fucking weirded me out. First of all, so many people looked related. Not in a it wasn't a joking all white people look alike. No. There were people that were not related that looked like brother and sister. And I even ran into that recently, that I was like, no, y'all are... And they were dating, and I'm like, no, you shouldn't be. You are too closely related. You have the same nose and same eyebrows.
You know what's something that I will always remember is when I was in my my late teen years working at a major pizza chain. One of the drivers that I knew was from LA, and one of the things that he talked about that blew him away when he moved to Utah was he said how dick hungry the children of the state were. He basically said he would deliver pizza, and 13-year-old, 14-year-old girls are being really coming on to him. And he's a grown-ass man. He's 20. He was 25 probably at the time.
Yeah, no, there were some weird things that I learned moving out here. And the first fry sauce that I ever had, I think it was at Arctic Circle, and it was the nastiest shit I had ever eaten. I was so upset.
So, for people who are listening and go, what the fuck is fry sauce?
Mayo chup.
It's what it is. It's basically 50-50 mayonnaise and ketchup. There are variations to it, depending on where you go. I will die. I will climb up there and nail myself to the cross of Red Robin has hands down the best fry sauce in the state.
No, absolutely. It has the best fry sauce.
And I say that as somebody who hates fry sauce.
Yeah. No, I don't get fry sauce.
It's great when you put a whole bunch of seasonings in it.
Yeah. But boy, it was one of those things, let's see, funeral potatoes, the way that some people made green bean casseroles and stuff were just
Okay. How would you describe funeral potatoes to somebody?
So, potatoes au gratin? Everyone has their own recipe. Some include cornflakes.
On top, a layer of cornflakes on top of cheesy potatoes, yes.
Which I will say funeral potatoes are one Utah staple that I do tend to enjoy. I'm not the biggest fan of the ones with cornflakes, but I'll eat them.
I don't like when they use too much sour cream.
Yeah, when it's too much sour cream, it's like, who hurt you?
I think I might be hungry, as I've had to take periodic moments to let my tummy grumble before I talk, so it doesn't get picked up on the mic.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, I should have had more fats in my stomach to absorb the wine from the wine advent calendar. But yeah, no, Utah is weird, and so everything that they talk about in SLAC Cabaret, I identified so hard with Nia, because I'm like, yeah, I remember that as a child moving here and being like, what the fuck?
A little bit of culture shock.
God, this state is so weird sometimes. Anyway, Nia and I, we are one and the same.
You know the one thing that I'll agree with the 45th president on? Utah's a weird state full of weird people.
Yes, it is.
Who will suckle your balls if you're the chosen one. Okay, anyways. Wow. That was a mighty mega tangent we went on, Kay. We tackled food and terrible leaders
and people who
cornflakes, which I guess
definitely
is food.
related.
So after the fry sauce song, the screen goes black and the sounds of crashes as people fall through the floor or something. A blackout happens and some bad stuff is happening, and Hudson rushes off to do his job. Nia meets Parker Avery Wagstaff, who is bummed out that the blackout is going to make them miss their flight because they have an escape plan to get out of Utah. But Parker asks Nia about their story, and Nia sings about how they've come to Salt Lake City to start their new life. But they can't because they're trapped in the airport, and they need to catch their interview. Parker then sings about how they have to get out of this state, but they can't because their family is cursed, and something always happens to keep them from leaving. Flat tires, wayward ducks, stalling engines. So this blackout is obviously the universe using this curse to keep Parker in Utah.
And they did a great job doing the bit from Into the Woods.
Yes, yes.
They did such a great job with that.
They really did.
Oh my god.
That's a hard song to do even straight. But to spoof it's hard.
Yeah.
So, but Parker will not stay in Utah with their crazy fucking family. All they need is a phone charger and a flight out of here. Family curses be damned. Nia and Parker Avery finish their song when the news guy comes back onto the TV to talk about the gender reveal con that is happening and all the stuff going on with it, like confetti vendors, explosives experts, and prenatal face painting. Yeah. But a breaking report comes on to explain that the power outage is due to an explosion in baggage claim, which vaporized tons of industrial-grade essential oils, knocking out power and making everything smell great. Also, people are trapped in the airport because all the blue and pink gender reveal clouds are blocking the motion sensors. I love how many things they just pile into that, and I love the jab with essential oils because...
Oh my god, they are so big here.
They really are. They cure cancer, you know. And they make you smell great.
They make you smell great, sort of. I would argue with some of them.
Largely depends on the oil.
Yeah, there is only one that has ever done anything for me, and it's... I don't even remember what it's called, but it's an orange and cinnamon type one that you put on the back of your throat when you have a sore throat. That's it. That's the only one that's ever done anything for me. The rest just either give me a headache or smell really nice.
I think the most reasonable application of essential oils are people who say that they use them in a humidifier so that it just smells good, makes the room nice. I feel like that is the most beneficial use out of essential oils.
Yes.
But in this state,
it's for everything. It's what happens when you can't have weed.
You know, it really is funny how snake oil never went away. It just changed form.
Yeah. Oh, man. MLMs are one of the biggest things in this state. And it kind of makes me just sort of sitting here going, I can't wait for the Mormon Church to mint NFTs. Because...
Oh my god, just give it time. People are gonna start minting, like, Bible passages or shit. I don't know.
Because I can see them taking hold here. And guys, it is a multi-level marketing scam. And coming from a state that has so many, just be careful, y'all. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna be selling Amway, essentially.
Makes me think...
It's Amway, but with a monkey JPEG. And also, Utah, don't you dare. Don't you dare. If I see an Ethereum building driving down through Provo, I'm gonna be pissed. Mark my words.
Well, that depressing crypto distraction out of the way, when suddenly a missionary comes over to ask them a question, and Parker Avery is like, oh, no, we're all good over here now. And Nia is like, what's wrong with you? He looks like he needs help. And then she goes to talk to the missionary, Kevin, who apparently, he went on a mission to Fiji, but got separated from his companion who was sent back without him, so Kevin was stuck in Fiji for a year, and people didn't want to talk to him, so he was isolated and without human contact. So, you guys are the first people I've had a conversation with in so long!
And they do a great spoof of waving in the window, which... you don't know yet, but you will.
What's it from?
Dear Evan Hansen.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And Kevin is very excited about having human interaction. So excited, in fact, he starts to sing about how he was creeping around people's windows trying to preach the Book of Mormon, but people would pretend not to be home until Kevin went away, even though he banged on the door because he knew they were in there.
Knocking on your door, but there's nobody around. You're hiding in the window, trying not to make a sound.
Because I don't know anything about Dear Evan Hansen.
God, yeah. I'm trying to keep it that way.
Other than what I've potentially guessed just on my own. But that song was really funny. Just the premise of this missionary who, during a pandemic, was left behind, still trying to do his calling or whatever, and just people just not answering the door. It's just one of those, like, turn off the lights, pretend you're not home. He's like, I know you're in there. Let me save your soul. So Kevin's song is cut short by a rumble and flashing lights and stuff. And then the most dangerous fucking couple comes out to live stream. Oh, sorry, not dangerous. The most obnoxious fucking couple comes out to live stream their baby's gender reveal and light a lighter, which then causes a chemical reaction and knocks out the power again. It's on another blackout, and people start to panic in the jumbled mass of people singing and saying different overlapping things, so it was kind of hard to pick out. I don't know if it's a spoof of something specific, but it's, yeah.
It is, it's been 4 months, so I don't remember.
Yeah. But then they all sing, "Why does nothing work? Why does nothing work?" And then the obnoxious couple open a door in the back of the room, and more flashing lights and crashing sounds happen before the screen goes to black. When suddenly, we find ourselves under the airport, and a woman singing, "Join us!" But actually, it might have been, "Join us."
Yes,
That's right.
It was from Pippin.
I love that song.
Mm-hmm. I love that show.
Join us, but the screen goes black after the song with more explosions and stuff. And then our main characters are seeing, laying on the floor. The news guy comes back to say, we interrupt gender con to talk about this fucked up shit. An earthquake caused more explosions. Now there are ruptured gas lines and noxious chemicals flooding the area, the newscaster then says. That experts hope those trapped in the airport have found their way into the underground tunnels that connect all of Utah's landmarks. Which,
I love that.
I love the concept that there are secret Mormon tunnels underground. It just makes me laugh.
So did you ever go to the ZCMI mall downtown when it existed? So it was across from Crossroads Mall, and...
I don't think I did, or if I did, I don't recall. It didn't leave enough of an impact.
Yeah, so my mom worked in the Beneficial Life Tower, which was part of... it was the upper part of the ZCMI Mall went into this big business tower, and one of the ways to get there, you had to go underground, and they had kind of this Mormon Heritage Museum a little bit there, which makes future things really funny.
So you go underground, have a little bit of a Mormon museum, and then come up.
And it was very, I don't know, I was that weird kid who, well, not weird, it's perfectly normal to want to have secret passageways everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so I was that kid who was like, oh, this is essentially a secret passage. I'm going on an adventure. And I will say that I was much older than I probably should have been having that, but, you know, I'm that type of person. Anyway, that's it did make me kind of reminisce a little bit about that. Like, this whole second act is nostalgic as hell, especially when we get to one of the things that they find in the tunnels. It's one of the most nostalgic scenes. Mm-hmm. But what I love is we're trying to get as much of 2020 and 2021 into a show. It's because 2020 for Utah started with a goddamn earthquake.
Uh-huh. Well, the thing that's, and we'll get to that song when it comes up, but that might... It's my favorite song, but for wrong reasons, kind of thing when we get to it. But we'll talk about it. So. Yeah. So the secret underground tunnels that connect all of Utah's landmarks. The gang is then like, the fuck? Secret tunnels? And Parker Avery is like, my Aunt Karen talked about the secret chocolate tunnels. And the band of mismatched unfortunates set out through the airport's underground. They change leaders a couple of times as well as songs as they travel the airport underground. The gang then finds themselves somewhere strange. Nia touches a thing on the wall and then gets snatched away by people garbed in brown robes who symbolize chocolate? I don't know, because they're the chocolate tunnels, and it's like the chocolate is collapsing around them, and...
It's because of the old Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory that used to be a thing here. I don't know if it still is, because I haven't spent any time downtown in a long time.
So anyways, the gang gets separated by the brown robes. Parker Avery and Cavan on one side, and Hudson and Nia on the other. Nia is super upset and comments that she would have done a Zoom interview, but wanted to make a good impression by flying down to do the interview, even though her horoscope said it was a bad day to fly, and she falls onto her back in defeat. Hudson gives Nia a pep talk and is like, no giving up, we'll do this, and Nia asks how Hudson came to be in Utah. Turns out, he was headed to Washington State, but he and his friend's van broke down in Orem. They crashed with a person they knew, but the van repair became the apartment deposit. Then Hudson's love bro Matt needed kidney repairs, and Hudson had to get a job to pay for his kidney repairs, and sort of a common law husband medical...
Kidney repairs.
you go to the kidney mechanic and they take a wrench and they tune up your kidneys and then your kidneys work better. Yes, so kidney repairs, and so they're like a common law husband friend medical stuff. But then 13 years later, Matt is dead and Hudson is still in Utah, even though he doesn't like it. He loves it, but that's love. You do it even when you don't want to. I think I covered that relatively well. Anyways, after Hudson's backstory, trumpets sound and a pile of 2002 Olympic clothing sprouts two people who were living in it. But it turns out that they were Olympic athletes who came to Utah for the Winter 2002 Olympics, but they ate shit in front of the whole world and were too ashamed to go back home and just lived in the airport's secret basement. And they won't agree to help Hudson and Nia get back out of the underground unless they complete 3 trials, that is. The first one was about Jar Jar Binks being a secret villain of Star Wars, which...
Yes.
I love that joke so much that they saw the they didn't... Was it that they didn't see... No, they saw the Phantom Menace because that came out in 2001,
yes.
I believe. And that was the joke, is like, how did it end? He had to be bad guy, right? He was so dumb. So that one made me laugh because I'm a nerd. And the second question was, what's the best thing about America's mayor? And the third question is something about Dawson's Creek, which I don't care to repeat because I don't care and I've never watched Dawson's Creek, so.
I don't want to wait for my lives to
be over. That's the only thing I know. And the blonde kid standing on a boat, like, looking sad and serious. I remember that in the commercial.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Like,
Dawson's Creek.
I was very aware of it, and I decided very quickly that it was not going to ever be a thing that I would be interested in, so...
My name is Dawson. This is my creek. This is where I bring girls to kiss and heavy pet, because we're teens experimenting, finding ourselves here at my creek. Because I'm Dawson.
Oh, God. I did love, though, bringing in the 2002 Winter Olympics stuff, because and the whole weakest link sort of way that they were doing, or no, was it weakest link or was it Millionaire?
It might have been the weakest link, because I think that was going on about that time.
Yeah, it felt more like weakest link, and which, God, I miss some of those old shows that they had, like some of the game shows in the both pre 9/11 and immediately after 9/11 era. Like, I don't know, the transitional phases of decades are some of the most interesting times. Like, the first couple of years when you're trying to figure out, what the fuck is this decade?
I do love, though, the second thing, what's the best thing about America's favorite mayor?
Yes.
Because I always think about the fall, you know, of
the rapid fall,
the decline,
and it's
of
one
Rudy
of those
Giuliani.
Things where he was already gonna decline.
He was already declining, and then a catastrophe happens,
yeah.
and all he had to do was not actively shit in front of everyone in the world, and
yeah,
just by the semblance of being like, you go here, you do this. He didn't do anything special. He just was an adult in the room.
Yeah. But dear
Anyway.
God, became America's mayor.
He did. And then that's right, the third question was Dawson's Creek, and we did the whole tangent about Dawson's Creek because I'm Dawson, this is my creek. But after completing the 3 challenge questions, it turns out that the 2 dumb not Olympians are no help at all, and Nia and Hudson just sorta wander off hoping to find something useful. Back at Parker, Avery, and Cavan...
Oh, they give them I think it was like a lanyard with a thing on it that they don't realize what it's going to be at the end.
Oh, maybe? I thought that because I know that they win, and then they kind of tell them, well, congratulations, you won. They're like, we don't get anything?
Yeah, they don't give them the immediate easy
solution
way out, and then you find out what they win, and it's like, aww.
I missed that. Well, okay. So back at Parker, Avery, and Cavan, who seem to be friendly enough and share condolences about one another's dead family members and all, but Cavan and Parker Avery start to hear someone singing in the distance, and they realize they're, at Pioneer Park or something, as they enter a crazy person pretending to be a Mormon pioneer who sings about not drinking and living in a covered wagon. After the song, the pioneer woman explains that she's in the underground storage part of the Pioneer Memorial Museum. The Pioneer Memorial Museum. Shen, I guess is her name?
I can't. I don't.
I guess Shen. Shen leads Cavan away to show an odd collection of esoteric trinkets that the two both nerd bond over, and then she reveals that she's psycho and wants to add real people to her Mormon artifact collection. And Cavan is like, this is weird. And then the screen fades to black, only to come back, and the different performers come out to be like, we have, this is the song. The woman comes out to be like, we have too much that we can't fit into this show.
Yes.
So we'll sing a thing about how we have too much in this show, and it's a bit about how they're no longer doing Saturday's Voyeur. And this woman freaking the fuck out is so hilarious, because she just comes out and she's just like, so much had happened, we can't talk about the earthquake and this, and then just I can't even do it
No.
in an attempt.
No.
The skill with which she rhythmically and melodically fires off all the a litany of rapid fire events that happened in 2020 and 2021, political and just other stuff as well. Just bam, 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 bam. She's like, but we don't have time to talk about it, so we're gonna. And I'm just like, when is she breathing during this? But she's just. It was quite impressive.
It was.
But it's one of my favorite songs because it was just them coming out and going, look, I know a bunch of fucked up shit happened, and we're just not gonna be able to cover all of it, so we're just gonna have a song where we throw our hands up in the air and we go, fuck it! And that's kind of what that song was.
Yeah.
And it was pretty great. So, the scene fades back to the airport surface, and the divided gang gets reunited. Yay! And Parker Avery ended up helping the obnoxious couple from earlier. Yes.
I am sorry. I had a thing about the Pioneer Memorial Museum.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we're back at the Pioneer Memorial Museum with the crazy lady who wants to add real people.
Because all of the things that she had, her ephemera,
Yes.
my ephemera.
Look at my ancient Mormon ephemera. Here, a photo signed by Donny Osmond. Here, a Band-Aid with a scab from Donny Osmond. Just...
My favorite, though, and part of it is because I was reminiscing about this recently in one of the Discord groups that I'm in, was when she was talking about the tater tots from Napoleon Dynamite.
Behold, the tater tots from Napoleon Dynamite.
They're
still crispy. And she just has that monotone. My ephemera.
Yes, and just the bonding of her
and Cavan
over that.
Mormon artifacts.
Yes.
This is the single greatest collection of Mormon ephemera I've ever seen.
It was so good, but like just the little details like that were wonderful.
Yeah. Oh my, it was just, there were so many esoteric things that I'm just like, I don't get that. But it's apparently important to Mormons.
Or just because, for a while we were filming so many movies out here that any time that a movie was filmed here, we were all proud of that movie. Like fucking, well, not we, but collectively as a state, everyone.
Royal we.
Yeah, the royal we. Like fucking High School Musical, man. When that was going on,
people lost their mind about that being filmed here.
People lost their fucking shit.
It's gotta... That is one thing I will say about filming stuff in Utah, is that the Mormons will then all go see it multiple times because they're like, yay, us!
Yeah, and like, same as there were TV shows that used to film here. I was in a couple of them that used to film here.
What was interesting is watching when I was a teenager, my dad was dating an ex-girlfriend and she had 2 kids. They watched the Disney Channel a lot. And it would be funny to see stuff that I'm like, oh, that's Lagoon. And it's in a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's awesome. It's weird. It's a bit of Utah that I do personally like, is all the stuff that was getting filmed here. And I kind of wish that they'd do it more so that maybe I could try to do more film related stuff.
You know, it's got to be one of those things that it's only interesting to people like us who live in Utah, that's a small state, because you got people who live in New York, they're like, of course they're filming another fucking movie in New York, it's New York, like, of course, like, gonna think, there's a motherfucker.
But you've got the state with this very small town mindset, because no matter where you are in Utah, you have a small town mindset. You can be downtown Salt Lake and you think that you are totally oh, this is city life. No, you don't understand city life until you go to LA or New York or Denver, where it's like, holy fuck, there's a lot of people.
See, that's the issue, though. The more people I get around, my desire to be around a meat grinder increases. You know?
No, absolutely. I don't know why, though, but I think that because nobody cares about you in some of the other big cities, I do better in them.
That's very possible. People are minding their own shit, people aren't stopping. Yeah. But it just made me think of, like, Warren, how do you summarize your social life in a nutshell? It's like, it's a pleasure to meet you. I need to go over here now. Like,
yes.
It's nice to meet you. Please go away. It's been a joy meeting you. I'm going home now.
Warren and I at a party. Hello, we're here. Where's the food and the cat? I'm gonna spend the rest of the party petting the cat in the corner. Hand me the cat treats. I'm gonna feed your cat treats.
What are you saying? We're antisocial?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But we're antisocial together.
That makes us antisocially pair bonded? I don't know. How would a human safari person describe us?
Territorial.
There we go. All right. So after the 2020-2021 clusterfuck of a oh my god, so much stuff happened, we're not going to be able to talk about it all song, the scene fades back to the airport surface, and the divided gang gets reunited. Yay! And Parker Avery helped the obnoxious couple from earlier give birth to their baby in a terminal, and they are exhausted by those people. The phone Nia found at the beginning of the show starts to ring again, and the woman who lost her phone comes out to be like, holy fuck, my phone! You found my phone! Mommy missed you so much, baby! Not kidding.
Yes.
And the entire gang starts to sing about how they haven't found what they've been looking for, and Cavan is like, what does life have in store? Ah! So he's basically, like, he's getting disillusioned a little bit.
Yeah.
He's freaking out. And then Cavan has, like, a thing from the Olympic Bros, and it turns out that they had a key to the repaired van from Hudson's origin story, and the 4 of them decide to take the van to Washington and start a new adventure and help break Parker Avery's family curse.
Yeah. And the little thing that they had, that the Olympic Bros did of, like, I can't remember the exact line, but it's basically talking about, it's the things that all of them kind of needed. All 4 of them needed. And just like, you won, so here is the key to this van, and, go out and have a new adventure and stuff like that. And it was really fucking touching, and it was a good payoff for the Olympic Bros scene.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was, like, they gave them something that looked inconsequential, and instead it turned out to be just what they needed.
Turned out to be the master key.
Yeah.
They needed. All along, as the 4 main heroes leave the stage, Karen comes back in, and she's crying on the phone about how she was stuck at the help desk in the dark for hours and hours and couldn't get the manager to help her because he was on an adventure. And then Karen spots a camera recording her and is like, what? What, are you going to put me on Instagram too? Huh? And then she goes into a tirade about how she's a Karen, but not a Karen. And how she fakes food allergies at restaurants to see if waiters are paying attention. And she starts to sing about how she's canceling cancel culture because she's an ally. But her song gets interrupted by a game show dude who is introducing the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, who are like divorced, dramatic, alive, disengaged, arrested, and contrived. And on TV, we are the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But some are ex-wives. And the song is way better than I bet any episode of The Real Housewives has ever been. Yeah, yes. I said it.
Yes.
Holy shit, there was a lot crammed into this episode. So, like,
yes.
After they do
And that's a parody of Six, which
yeah, which you said is about Henry VIII's wives. Which I think would actually sounds like a great premise for a movie.
I want to see it so bad.
So I would love to see that, but it's kind of funny because watching SLAC Cabaret, they did still hold on to some of their Saturday's Voyeur roots kind of thing. Because after they concluded the main story with Nia and Hudson and Parker Avery and stuff, they then kind of did a series of skits.
Yes.
And that was with the game show portion. Like, it went from into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and then into a couple other skits, and then the show closed out.
Yes.
And it was really entertaining. And one thing I will say, I really want to compliment, I can't remember their name, the non-binary actor who plays Jay, who plays Parker Avery. When in the housewife scene, they really dolled themselves up, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, wow.
They are a stunningly beautiful person.
I've seen them.
Everything that they're in, I'm just like, God damn, you're stunning. You are stunning. But yeah, and it was fun. It was just a really good show, and the Real Housewives bit was great just because I know that I have seen folks talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake, and I remember when they were putting up the billboards for Real Housewives, asking for them, and it's just like, oh god, this is and it sounds like it is even more of a mess than I thought it would be.
You know what, just you saying that, the first thing it made me think of, and it's not actually related, but it kind of is in a way, is when that millionaire took out all those billboards in Salt Lake.
Oh my god, yes.
Basically wanting to buy a wife.
Yes, that was fucking wild.
That's kind of what that made me think of a little bit.
Oh man, how did that even... I can't remember how that shook out, because I think I saw a thing on KSL.
He might have bought a wife. I don't know.
Yeah, because I think it was like they had to go to a conference or seminar or some shit at, like, whatever the hell Southtown Expo Center is called now. I think it's Mountain America Expo Center or some shit. Whatever it is. But I think that's how that shook out, was that it turned out to be kind of I'd need to look into it to see, because I think it might have turned out to be a bit of a scam.
That gives me some hope, because I think that's kind of funny. But
it's amazing how well you can scam people here. We're essentially the town from Music Man.
I wonder if we're the scam capital of the... No, just by capita. Capita, there's no way. We are the MLM.
We are the MLM capital of the really the world, I would think, because I still think about that one that we went to together with the whole family that was essentially an MLM. That was... Oh, man.
That's a clusterfuck. Well,
I've always wanted to do a skit around that, though, with the testimonials. I had the fucking music playing.
Oh, God.
As soon as it got to something emotional, just you hear fucking light piano music. God, this state's weird. This state is weird.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to redirect us back on track.
Yes.
I enjoyed SLAC Cabaret.
I did as well.
I am bummed that Saturday's Voyeur is no more. However, I think that its end has given a beginning to something new that will also be great.
Something
And
wonderful.
It'll be wonderful to see how it progresses and evolves, and yeah, and
Absolutely.
the fact that they streamed it last year, I know they're going to stream it this year, and I want to give them our money and enjoy the show and do an episode on it.
Absolutely.
So, thank you, local theater company that is getting with the times and the crisis.
Yes.
And making your shows more available.
And special shout out to Latoya Cameron, who got me the tickets for streaming it.
Thank you, Latoya.
Yeah, she is amazing. I love her, and I love her sister, Candace, who we've talked about on the show as well. Yes. So, yeah, thank you so much for giving us the tickets for that. And I am very excited for the next SLAC Cabaret. They've announced the writing staff for it, and I'm sure that auditions are going to happen for it soon. Yeah, I'm excited.
Kay just did a little wiggle in their seat.
Yes. So, Warren.
It's okay.
Next week starts the first week of February.
Woo!
Yes.
Holy shit.
That was my reaction when I saw it and was scheduling out episodes and went, fuck.
Wow. Where does time go?
It feels like it's been a decade and also 30 seconds.
It's just massive amounts of blurry time.
Yeah, time is a fucking illusion right now. And I'm getting all my fucks out because
Fuck, that's right.
Yeah.
I gotta watch what I say.
Yes.
Prepubescents might listen to it.
Prepubescents might listen to our episodes, so
And they cannot handle fuck at all.
well, it's more I want a school to be able to use those episodes. Should
Schools, the most bizarre
fuck,
place where swearing in the classroom is forbidden, but the hall.
Except I forgot about the damn laws getting passed because it's been that long. So it may not be able to be used in schools, but homeschooling parents can use the episodes.
There you go, because here comes Kay with the critical race theory of, discrimination was a thing that happened, and we have proof of it. Records.
We have records, and it even echoes in the theater. So, for this upcoming Black History Month, I'm only going to be doing one episode a week because doing one episode a week is all that I can mentally handle right now. So,
That's all I can mentally handle.
We are going to be watching Porgy and Bess.
Yay.
Yay. So, thank you all so much for listening to this very bizarre, tangent-filled episode. As we're still finding our sea legs again.
Yeah, and now I'm sitting here going, shit, this is just like the last episode. How do we close these out? If you'd like to get a hold of Kay or myself, you can do so at our home base, which is tonedeafmusical.com. There we have links to all of our social media, our Twitters, our Discords, our Instagrams. Wait, Twitters, Facebooks,
Yes.
and Instagrams.
Not Discords yet,
Not
other
Discords
than...
yet. Other than the Cast Junkie Discord server, where we have our own Not Safe for Work channel. And if you want to go above and beyond, you can support the show. Leave a review on all of those platforms that let you do reviews and things, because it helps the show.
You can leave a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, Podchaser. You can connect with us on Good Pods, which is an awesome service. If you want to go above and beyond that, you can join our Patreon, where we have different tiers, different levels. You can have your name read on the show. You can get some bonus content from us. We've been doing Guess the Plot from the Title in One Song, which is a game that Warren will play. You can also go to our TeePublic and get some t-shirts, some masks, some hoodies, stuff like that. Warren is currently unhinging his jaw and swallowing the mic, so I think that is... Oh my god, Warren.
I think I might need dinner.
Did that taste good?
No. No, it didn't.
You didn't actually take a bite out of it, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
But I made contact with my mouth. And that was not a good decision.
No. That'll be a fun sound to deal with in the edit.
Have fun. It's my gift to you, Kay. While I'm cooking pork loin and veggies.
Anyway, that's right. Your job in the kitchen. Making me dinner. Wait, we did that show last week. Anyway. Thank you all again for listening.
I mean, if you want to imitate Carousel, I guess I could smack you in the mouth.
No, I was doing the guy's part.
Oh, you want to hit me?
I don't want to hit
Oh.
you, but...
So no role reversal?
No, unless you
Spank
want
me, Daddy.
I could spank you,
I
but
wouldn't.
don't call me Daddy.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening.
We truly appreciate it.
Yes, that'll be it for this week. I'm Kay,
I'm Warren.
and this has been
Tone Deaf.
We're a bit slap happy.
Slaptacular. Whee!
Slap happy. Check it and see.
Why are you slapping me?
Come on, baby, give me a slap. Slap happy. Slap
Don't give me no sissy tap. Come on.